We're in session in cause number 330224. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Denisha Janae McMillan. We have Ms. McMillan appearing via Zoom. Ms. McMillan, would you please raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McMillan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McMillan, you may put your hand down.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. McMillan?
I'm doing okay, sir.
That's good. Now, Ms. McMillan, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, do you waive a record in Ms. McMillan's case?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McMillan, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about June 20th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Ms. McMillan, do you understand what you've been charged with? I think
Yes,
that's
sir.
good. And to this charge, how do you plead?
I plead
Guilty,
guilty.
not guilty, or no contest?
I was guilty for the trespassing.
Okay, so you plead guilty.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McMillan, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments. On this document, Ms. McMillan, on page 2, there are a set of initials DM on a line next to the box says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, yes, sir.
And on the next document that is titled the Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, did you sign this document above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And there are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And the second box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McMillan, did you sign a document out there that is titled the discovery certification?
Yes, sir. I signed that one. I seen at the top it said discovery. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. McMillan, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney, Mr. Matuska, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir. They're true and accurate.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Matuska?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you've advised and counsel Ms. McMillan. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Ms. McMillan, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Sir?
Are you satisfied with the representation of Mr. Ryan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm very satisfied.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
McMillan, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 9 days county jail with credit for time served, tax and retire the court costs.
Ms. McMillan, the state is offering that you serve 9 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 9 days in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served.
Thank you.
Okay, the court cost in this case is $342, but you will not have to pay the court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Ms. McMillan, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir. So would that mean, my understanding is I would have to do 90 days or I will get time served?
You'll be given time served.
Thank you, God. Thank you. Yes, I
And,
understand.
and Ms. McMillan, do you
Lord,
think,
thank you. I'm sorry.
okay, Ms. McMillan, do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. McMillan, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. McMillan, this will conclude your case. Follow the bill if you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day too. So does that mean I leave today?
If you don't have anything holding you, you should be getting out today.
Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, God bless you.
Oh man, okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, just follow the bill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, what's your name?
Jeremy Watson.
We're in session in two cases. First case is cause number 324-596, and the second case is cause number 324-600. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Jeremy Michael Watson. We have Mr. Jeremy Michael Watson appearing via Zoom. Mr. Watson, would you
Yes, sir.
please raise your hand? Mr. Watson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Watson, you may put your hand down. Mr. Watson, how are you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Watson, I have before me, well, Mr. Watson, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, do you waive a record in Mr. Watson cases?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Watson, I have before me in cause number 324-596 an information that alleges that on or about September 21st of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault, family violence. Mr. Watson, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
And to this charge, Mr. Watson, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're actually guilty?
I'm sorry.
Are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Watson, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. And on page 2 of this document, Mr. Watson, there's a set of initials JW on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
I did, sir.
And on the third page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature above that line. Did you sign this document?
I did.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Watson, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Watson, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned, did you have an opportunity to read these documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you read the documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And did your attorney go over everything in these documents?
He did, sir. Yes, sir.
Understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you'd also like to offer State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit?
Judge, I believe this defendant is pleading guilty. So I only have State's Exhibit 1 to offer.
So, Mr. Matuska, you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted. Mr. Matuska, you've advised and counseled Mr. Watson. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
And Mr. Watson, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Mr. Watson, are you satisfied with Mr. Matuska's representation of you?
Absolutely.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Watson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 100 days county jail with credit for time served, tax and retire the court costs. And that is to run concurrent with cause number 324600.
Okay, Mr. Watson, the state is offering that you serve 100 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 100 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case, Mr. Watson, is $387, but you will not have to pay the court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Watson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
I do. Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Watson, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Watson, we will move on to your next case. Your next case is cause number 324600. And I have before me an information that alleges that on or about September 21st of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawful restraint. Mr. Watson, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Watson, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're actually guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Watson, I also have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And on page 2 of this document, Mr. Watson, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Mr. Watson, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next page of the same document, Mr. Watson, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. And Mr. Watson, did you sign this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature at the bottom of this document above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Watson, did you sign this document also?
Yes, sir.
And there are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
I do.
And Mr. Watson, did you sign a document out there that is titled the discovery certification?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Watson, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I have just mentioned, Did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. Would you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Matuska, you have any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you've advised on counsel, Mr. Watson, in this case as well. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
And Mr. Watson, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you in this case as well. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Watson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you're mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 100 days, credit for time served, tax and retire the court costs, and that's to run concurrent with cause number 324596.
Okay, Mr. Watson, the state is offering that you serve 100 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve 100 days in Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 100 days in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $387, but you will not have to pay the $387 in this case because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Mr. Watson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
I do. Yes, sir.
Mr. Watson, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into in this case. Now, Mr. Watson, the previous case, cause number 324596, is an assault family violence case. And so pursuant to, so in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. Number 1, you are by entry of order of judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number 2, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number 3, under Texas Penal Code section 46.013, a firearm means any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is 1, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or 2, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective order. Mr. Watson, the attorney will give you a copy of this admonishment that you can keep for your records. This will conclude your case, Mr. Watson.
Yes, sir.
You can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You have a blessed day as well. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break.
Oh, okay.